Witchcraft has two sides. One is a spiritual side where you are a practicing witch, and the other one is the flesh side that comes out of you as an individual, whereby you practice witchcraft by your actions. For instance, in Galatians chapter 5, verses 19 and 20, listen to this. Now the works of the flesh, I'll say it again. Now the works of the flesh, one more time. Now the works of the flesh. This is not the spiritual witchcraft where you got a witch and a warlock actually doing incantations and practicing witchcraft. It's a personality trait that you have, but it's the works of the flesh. You know what the works of the flesh are? Is something you do to gratify your flesh at the expense of your soul and your morality. Here are some of the works of the flesh according to Paul. Their works of the flesh are manifest, and they are adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft. It's a works of the flesh. Hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, and which I tell you before, as I tell you again, those that practice those will not inherit the kingdom of God. Witchcraft is practiced by nearly everybody in the world in some form or fashion. Let me give you an example. When you're born into the world, you're a little babe, and you maybe, let's say, as a little baby, what do you desire? You desire to get your bottle, you desire to get your back scratched, or you desire to be cuddled. So little baby wets his diaper, and mom picks the baby up and changes the diaper and then cuddles it a little bit, and the baby's happy because it's not wet anymore, it's not uncomfortable. So the baby figures it out. So wait a minute, I don't have to wet my britches for mama to come pick me up. I'll just cry like I did when I was wet. So they cry, they pitch a fit. What does mama do? Come picks the baby up and cuddles it. Baby quits crying. Manipulation. There's three forms of witchcraft that we practice in the natural, and we're not witches. Maybe we don't know we're doing it, but I think maybe that little baby knew. So you get a little bit older and you want to get your way, so you pitch a fit. You realize that you get into a store or something and you want something, you know mama and daddy don't want you to have it, so there's a lot of people around, and if you pitch a fit, you can get what you want because mom and dad just wants to hush you up. They don't want to whip you in public. So then you get married. What do? Wife's learned how to manipulate her husband. How does she do that? Oh, if you loved me, you would get me this. And so she appeals to his emotions, his empathy, his love for her. And she actually manipulates him. That's a form of witchcraft. Yes, it is. So what if the husband and wife get in an argument? Husband generally stronger and bigger. What does he do? Man, he rages and cusses, and he threatens everybody and threatens to beat them up. Intimidation. That's another form of witchcraft. Men do it every day all over the world. Okay, how about the next one? Domination. What is the purpose of intimidation and manipulation? Ultimately, domination. Who is the strongest? Who is going to come out on top? And if you're good at manipulation and if you're good at intimidation, you're going to come out on top. Everybody's going to walk on eggshells around you. There are people all over the world practicing witchcraft, and they don't even know they're doing it because it's a lust of the flesh. It's not that they are witches. They didn't go to covens. They're not warlocks. They're not trying to actually make things happen like that, but they do in the flesh. It's a lust of the flesh. I'm going to say it again. It's a lust of the flesh. I haven't touched on spiritual witchcraft yet. We'll do that on another day if you've listened this far. And I'm going to get a lot of responses because they're going to say something about that. All right. So how do we control this? That was what that woman did to me the other day. She tried to manipulate me because she was strong-willed. She always tried to get one over on her husband. He was strong-willed. He tried to dominate her and intimidate her. They went to my church. I liked them. They were good people, but they had personality traits. It was a lust of the flesh that qualifies as witchcraft. And I'm just telling you that people do it all the time, and they're in churches all over the world. In your church. And you say, well, they can't bother me. Oh, well, there's another thing that people were saying. It says, if you're spirit-filled, witch can't get to you. I beg your pardon? What kind of world did you grow up in? Of course they can. Well, if you were spirit-filled and you were really saved, he can't cross the bloodline. Are you crazy? All right, let me ask you a question. Let's reason this just for a second. You walk around in the flesh. You're a spirit man inside, right? Born again. Have you ever lied to anybody? Mm-hmm. Have you ever stolen? Mm-hmm. Have you ever committed adultery? Mm-hmm. How about fornication? Mm-hmm. Have you ever hated somebody you wanted to kill them? Mm-hmm. It's lust of the flesh. Witchcraft is a lust of the flesh. And people practice it nearly all the time and not even know that they're doing it. So maybe this is a wake-up call for some, that you'll go, oh, wait a minute, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to have to rein it in. Good idea. That's a good idea. So we will look at some examples of witchcraft as a lust of the flesh on another series. But I just wanted to give you a heads up on this, so maybe you'd get a little more understanding about the lust of the flesh, which is a form of witchcraft, along with the other 12 lusts that are written in Galatians chapter 5, 19 and 20. Okay? Talk to you later. Love you guys. We're going to do something, and we're fixing to make a difference. God bless you, and go in peace. Love you. Bye.